When you hear all of this angry rhetoric in the main about mass deportation, immigration, illegal, all this stuff that's happening, what are your initial thoughts?
First of all, thank you for having me, and thank you for giving, Black voices and Black immigrants a voice, because that's what you're doing. I really appreciate it. So, like you said in your introduction, a lot of our community, our Black community, is sometimes very unaware of the challenges that Black immigrants face. And it's really, really heart wrenching because, like you said, most of the narrative is on the Mexicans and, people from Central America as well. And we forget about our Black immigrants. And however, the consequences of every action, every political decision that's made affects Black immigrants, I think, twice as much because oftentimes we have no representation, we have no voice, and we have to deal with even a lot more beyond just beyond the color of our skin, which, racism is at the top of it all. But it is deeper than that because when they tell stories of other immigrant communities and ignore the Black immigrant experience, they are really taking away, our stories. They are actually taking away our accomplishments. They are taking away our contributions. You don't get to come to the United States by coming across the border. When you come from Cameroon or Nigeria or even Belize, you have to fly. Or, Jamaica, all these places, you have to get a visa. So all of these narratives affect us in those ways. So when the narrative about us or when we talk about deportation, it's going to affect a lot of families. There are lots of Black immigrant families that are here who are undocumented and who, in spite of being undocumented, contribute. And by the way, most of them did not come, illegally, because most Black immigrants typically have a visa that, brings them here. And then maybe they file for asylum or they come as refugees. And sometimes the system doesn't, accommodate whatever their circumstances may be. So you could come in here as an asylee because you're fleeing persecution from your country. And depending, sometimes lack of knowledge may affect you through the system. So for instance, you come to the United States, you're seeking asylum, and you're not aware of the procedure. And so you maybe overstay your visa. Then you're out of status. And that out of status does not include the fact that you were fleeing persecution, political persecution, or horrible conditions from your country. And so now you're out of status. So you were not illegal. You came legally, but now you're facing this situation. And so I've come across in fact, I met a young lady the other day and she said, Pamela, I am on deportation. I said, why? And she's from Cameroon. She said, I filed for asylum. And unfortunately, I don't know what happened with her paperwork, but it got lost somewhere in the shuffle. And now she's on deportation. She works, she pays taxes, and she has a daughter. She's a single mother. Now I'm concerned about her because now with the new administration coming in, we're hearing that deportation is not just going to be deporting people that are out of status. It's also going to be because last time there was too much pushback about, leaving children stranded without parents. There seems to be a push for deporting the entire family. So now, is her daughter at risk? And even if her daughter stays, who is the daughter going to stay with? So it's really heartbreaking because deportation is really sending a frenzy in the Black immigrant community and all immigrant communities, but Black immigrant communities in particular, because first of all, geographically, we're so far away. So now it's not like being next door in Mexico. Maybe you could, I don't know. But if you're deported back to Africa or back to wherever else you're from, Brazil, if you're a Black immigrant from there, it's a long way. It's a long way. So it is frustrating. It is scary. We are scared. I'm scared because most of us have relatives and friends who may be in that category.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.